Thank you, Archangel Zadkiel here. Thank you for continuing to listen to this channeling by the soul known as Katische in this incarnation. We're going to continue talking about animals today and the role they play in humans' lives, be they comfort or for the human to comfort the soul of the animal. So we have focused predominantly on the human's perspective so far, but we have not talked about the animal's perspective. There is a lingering question in Katisha's mind: do animals and humans have different souls? Or can a human being start off as an animal? I think that many of you think that humans and animals are different souls and different types of souls, but Katish has experienced the distinct knowing in a past life regression of being a narwhal, which is a big dolphin that looks like a unicorn. So therefore, how can it be two different soul types? So therefore, one of the things that we wish you to know is that your animal spirit guides, who are your animals from this life and other lifetimes, are also your friends, your human beings from other lifetimes that you have interacted in. The choice to incarnate as an animal or a human is not simply a question of progression from going from a mineral to a plant to a chimpanzee to a human being. No, it's not the evolutionary style of progression, for soul progression is non-linear. Soul progression cannot be linear because time is linear and there's no such thing as time. So all lifetimes exist at once. If you don't understand this concept, then there are many resources to help you understand this. Now, if there are many lifetimes happening at once, then you can be in one lifetime as a human support mechanism for another soul, and you could be in a different lifetime as a companion animal for another soul. So, for example, you could be a tiger for somebody in their lifetime, especially if you work at a zoo. Okay, we will say no more about that, but if that person ever listens, they will understand the importance of Clyde to them. Okay, that was quite a surprise, wasn't it? So, what next? Yes, when your role with that person has finished, then you no longer need to be incarnated as that animal. So you could be a physical tiger for the previous example, or you could be a spirit guide tiger. For example, if you have finished working with a person in the human capacity, incarnated as a physical tiger, for example, the tiger would simply die. If you were finished working with that person in the spiritual capacity, then the spirit guide would still be around as a tiger. However, they would introduce you to new spirit guides. And if your specialty is animals, then they would introduce you to, perhaps taking some artistic liberty here, to new tigers that are waiting for you across the river to join them to get to the next level of your knowledge. Okay, you may resist this, but it is difficult to let people go. And it is difficult to let animal spirit guides go. That is why time and time again we feel compelled to ask the spirit guides that we know for help when there is somebody who is jumping and screaming at you, literally or figuratively, however you wish to see it in your own mind's eye, that they are ready to help you swim across the river. So you have to let go sometimes, and it can be quite emotional because you have grown to depend upon them. But this is part of life, isn't it? And the tiger that you are leaving behind has new people to help, and they can't help until you let them go. How do you actually let a spirit guide go? You simply, with gratitude, say, "Thank you for helping me. I release you to the light." All that does is it simply reassigns your energy to the next soul companion who you have agreed to help in the form of a spirit animal known as a tiger. When the other person accepts this, ray of light or energy that they will then recognize as a tiger, then the relationship is not severed but complete for this lifetime, and then you can free yourself up to work with the new spirit guides. Okay. We shall leave the other level of difficulty, which Katische wants to explain, for another day, but you should know that you can be incarnated in multiple roles for one person at a single time if you have pre-contracted to do so, because you knew that this particular lifetime would be very tough for a person. So you might have since we're going there, you might have a friendship, for example, and then you may be their spirit guide as well, or you may even be their pet, even using one of your names from a previous incarnation. That was very interesting, wasn't it, Katische? Okay, so now the thing is that you may think that listening to this sounds like an insider joke, right? Why are they saying these personal things on this episode when it has nothing to do with me? But trust me, if the things that we just said resonated to you, you will see your own circumstances, your own spirit guides, and the own people that you are working through issues with spiritually or physically in your lifetime, and you may get a aha or a light bulb moment. So when we share the personal experiences of Katische, they are not used to big note her or make her sound like a spiritual guru. In contrast, they are simply the best way for her to teach in this lifetime, because we are trying to teach her vulnerability and openness through experience. And she saw this in action last night when she watched a video on the Archangels with Jamie Butler. And to her surprise, Jamie said that she didn't have much experience with the Archangels, but Katische could see her visibly cry and become very emotional when the Archangel presence was around. So Jamie, in that YouTube episode, which you could go and look on, Jamie Butler, the Everyday Medium, and her video is entitled something to do just simply the Archangels or the Archangel's energy. She just relates her stories, and actually the stories are the most powerful things. So this is what I'm trying to teach Katische to do, because she gets in her head and gets overwhelmed, goes round and round and round and round and round and round in circles, or gets stuck in a maze. We have to stop that, because her early part of her career was to be an academic, and that was very logical and rational. We know that she can use the linear equations in her mind that find the root cause of everything and square root them to the 99th degree, but we could be here forever trying to extract the lessons and get around her academic ego. So that was simply a long way around the bush to explain that an animal and a human being does not have a different soul, and that you can be somebody's animal companion as well as their spirit guide at any one time. Thank you. We would just pause for a moment, as I need to tell Katische no, that is not the right direction that she is thinking, but it's somewhat similar. Okay. So thank you for listening, and we did this one because Katische recognized that she had missed an episode 4, as we are numbering these to put on the podcast, so they will be available on the podcast for a little while. We hope you humor us by understanding that these are going to be a lot shorter than her traditional talk fest of an hour or two with the friends that she has a lot to catch up on or heal karma with. Thank you again, and in the words of Katische and many others on this planet right now, namaste. As soon as we finished that recording, Katische suddenly felt repulsed because she thought, am I eating my friend when I eat a steak? And this is what I wish to clarify. There are more sentient beings on this earth that are not humans than there are humans. If you have read any of the books about how trees communicate with each other, you will know that plants are sentient, animals are sentient. There are just different levels of sentience. A fish is sentient. A rock is sentient. The water is sentient. Mother Gaia, Earth, is sentient. So when you dig a hole to build a building, you don't stand there and go, ouch, I just dug a hole in my friend's leg. It doesn't work that way. If you read Dolores Cannon's books, and Katisha's reading some of them, she says over and over again that there is a long line of souls who wait to incarnate as a human being on this planet. The line includes so many souls from other dimensions and other locations that they can choose to be a rock or a fish in the ocean for a while if they like. But we never ever make them incarnate as an animal that has to be consumed in mass production for supermarkets. Okay? We just really want to stop that thought that you may have in your head you're not eating your friend or a soulmate or a spirit guide. We only ever feel the positions of people that you interact with as companion animals that you would not eat. Even in China, the stray cats in China are not your soulmates. So I just wanted to come down really hard and really quick, because we're not here to promote vegetarianism or veganism. You can do that if you choose. Please, if you feel terrible eating animals, then do not eat them. This is not the purpose of this podcast or this recording. The purpose was simply to show you that you can be an animal if it is helpful to your soul friends. She just edited that over and replaced soulmates with friends, just to be clear, so we don't have to go down that whole discussion right now. You do not eat your friends, okay? You incarnate as a companion pet that does not have the timeline for being eaten. That's it. A cat, a dog, a budgerigard, something like that. Yes, snakes if you're into snakes, a pet snake. That is to clarify that, okay? Namaste.